he don't like something, he's gone.
Is he really?
Yeah. He's big on altitude. He'll usually say something once to you, and after that he'll shove the nose forward, throw you up in your seat. So I said stay on your altitude.
Oh boy.
I can't tell if he's just screwing with you or if he's just ornery.
Yeah, yeah. Now one thing I didn't do, doggone it, should have done this already.
I'm 204 my kilo going that time, course runway 25, clear for takeoff.
Clear for takeoff on 25, 4 my kilo, thank you.
Don't worry about it, take off.
I'm sorry?
Go ahead and go. Once they clear you, don't want to sit here very long.
Okay.
I'll show you another way to do this.
Okay.
Yeah, I probably haven't shown you.
Clear on final, no one's on the runway. Alright, feet on the floor. Full power. Right rudder. Airspeed's alive. Gauges all look good. 45.
Just get us over to Winder and do a full stop. We're going to taxi back and I'm going to...
Alright.
Once you get it, you've been a good student, man.
I appreciate
You're
it.
very motivated.
I
don't have to drag it out of you.
I'm having a blast, I'll tell you that.
Make it easy for me.
Yeah, well, you know, like I said, it's this is definitely not the end for me.
Yeah, but just an hour or so before you run back and see me.
Yeah.
You'll be more confident, and it'll make the instrument stuff easier for you.
Okay.
I usually tell people you have about 35 hours of then they can come back. It's got to be cross country, so I think we've had this discussion.
Yeah.
If your buddy will stay consistent, try to fly once or twice a week, he probably needs to start trying to fly, schedule himself twice though, because what's happening is he's getting a little knocked out by weather and stuff.
Yeah.
Holidays, whatever. He's a nice guy.
Yeah, he's I know he's having a blast. That's all he wants to talk about.
And Glenn, thank you. We'll see you next time. Thanks a lot. We'll go to Gainesville College.
74 Tango Rock Street, change moving over stage flight.
Have a great day. Thank you.
Alright. Do I have winders? I don't have winders frequency.
1, 2, 3. Let's say you didn't know winder's frequency.
I know there's a way to find it up there.
One knob to the right. Now, that's your information page. Scroll in your little knobs. There's your runways you have.
Okay.
Scroll again. There's your frequencies. Well, now let me show you something. There's this cursor in.
You push it. Okay. Oh, you can go to it.
Wait a minute. Yeah, see? I put in. But it's actually 1, 2, 3.
Right.
You can do it that way. Winder. Direct, enter, enter. I'll send you to Winder, or whatever airport you want to.
Oh, okay.
So that's another way. You can hit, or you can hit direct, of course, and go down to the nearest and do it that way. So there's some pretty different ways.
You said direct and you did what? You did the right way.
Which way? Which one?
You were doing direct and you went nearest. Direct.
Direct. Roll down your big knob down to this nearest.
Okay.
And it's going to have your nearest airports usually within 25 miles.
Got it. Okay.
And that's easier than having to put the identifier in each time.
Yeah.
I want people to know how to do it the other way because they get too confident on doing that. If there's an airport that's not on the nearest, then they got to know how to put it in.
Right.
Alright, so basically we've done our after takeoff.
Okay.
Flaps are up. Check our gauges quick before we get too far away from the airport.
All the gauges look good. Good vacuum and all the gauges look good.
Cruise checklist. I mean, we're pretty much set up.
Yeah.
We're going to land.
Right.
But if we were
Cruising, I would go make sure my fuel check cutoff is in. Cruise to lean it, and then landing light off.
turn your fuel pump off and all that. But
Yep.
he's going to have you go into maneuver, so you probably just need to leave your mixture rich and your fuel pump on.
Okay. All right.
You have to hit your comms too if you want to listen to weather.
Report.
Automated weather observation. Weather. Wind. Visibility 1,000. Scattered. Temperature 1.
Traffic system 62 X-ray.
0.7 altimeter. 0.26.
Standard field count on gate 5 going 3. From the runway 31. Standard up
3-1, going 3-1.
Okay. Yeah, the winds are calm. Days like this, you gotta be careful though. You have people landing all kinds of different ways.
All right, so 3-1 will be coming in this way.
Alright. Which way would 1-3 be landing?
1-3 would be landing in this way.
Yep. And which way is 5?
5. Where's 5 at? 5 right here. Be coming in this way.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, and the other's 2-3 on the other side, so
Yeah. So
we either have to kind of cross over here and then
we're on the base. Or you're 45 into 3-1.
yeah, we're set up for 3-1 right now. And kind of general rule, you know, we're 15 miles away from the Winder. You can climb up to 3,500 if you like, or if you keep it below 3,000, you can kind of be on your own whatever level you want to be.
Winder traffic down to 204 Mike Kilo. 7 miles out from the west coming in on 45 for 3-1 Winder.
Winder traffic, Cessna 62 X-ray is 3-1 Winder.
traffic, Diamond 204 Mike Kilo, 3 miles to the west, coming in 145 downwind, left downwind, 431 winder. What are you gonna do?
Sounds like it's running a little rough to me today. I keep hearing a little bit of maybe the fuel's not quite octaning out.
Mixture rich.
Wider traffic systems. Base left downwind 31 wider. We did turn. Now we have that traffic in 5 wider.
Down to 15. One knots and flaps below 100. Let it drop. Clear of all runways, winder. Clean it up. I would turn my lights on, but I'm going to leave those on. want to stop or you want to go over here?
No, we're going to go down. I'm going to demonstrate a short field takeoff and landing for you, and then I'm going to let you have at it, man.
Okay.
So the pressure's on me to make it happen now. I can always say, well, you screwed that up or you did that. It's more embarrassing if I screw it up.
Yeah, it's going to be picture perfect when you do it. It's going to be what we call butt ugly when I do it.
Wider traffic, Diamond 225 Delta Alpha, crossing runway 23 and 5 at Charlie, wider.
You got to remember now, I fly a lot, but most of my flying is observing.
That's true, yeah.
There's a little bit of a feel of the plane.
Yeah.
And floating the Cessna much. I was demonstrating a steep turn earlier today. I got a little bit high.
Yeah. Wider traffic, Diamond 204 Mike Kilo, crossing 23 and 5. Wider.
Concept is this is a short field, okay? So,
Wider traffic, Cessna 62 X-rays, crosswind.
We normally rotate the plane at 45, but on a short field you want to be a little bit faster, so about 5 knots faster, so about 50 is what we want to rotate at. The reason we want to be a little faster is because our climb out needs to be steeper. So we want the extra airspeed, because as soon as you get out of a steeper angle, your airspeed wants to drop off, right?
Yeah.
Wider traffic, Cessna
And you're
62
pretending like there's a bunch of pine trees at the end of the runway and you're trying to clear. So once we get tree level, I'll say cleared 50-foot obstacles and I'll level it back off so I can get my airspeed up.
Yeah, okay.
The other thing we want to do is want to use all available runway. So we'll take it down here and use all the runway. And we want to hold the brakes, and we want to go for full power. And then release the brakes.
Alright.
So we have the maximum amount of power available.
Got it.
My controls.
Your controls.
Wider traffic, Diamond 204 Mike Kilo, departing runway 31, remaining in the pattern. Wider traffic. So we're clear right. We're clear left.
Yep. Flaps.
Yep.
You only used
10 degrees.
10 degrees, okay.
Yep. I thought you'd put them back
No,
in
I was
takeoff earlier.
No. So you don't use full flaps. You would figure you use full flaps just so you'd have more lift.
Yep.
Okay.
Just 10 degrees.
All right. So.
All right. Gauge is green. Center line, airspeed alive. 40. 50. Cleared 50-foot obstacle.
Wider traffic, Cessna 62 X-rays, base runway 31 wider.
Camp's not right. There we go.
One thing I don't like about this particular one is I never hear the stall horn on this plane.
500 feet, 62 X-rays, final for 31 wider.
What did you say?
Be a touch and go.
Clamps up.
No, I wonder why it doesn't. I wonder why it doesn't.
It may need to be looked at.
Yeah.
Wider traffic, Diamond 204 Mike Kilo, left crosswind, 31, wider. lower my altitude. I'm going to just go ahead and pull my power back to 2,000. That usually settles me right in. I'll be approximately a mile away from the field. Winder traffic diamond 204 Mike Kilo, downwind 431. Winder. Okay, depending on which examiner you use, and we're going to do it the harder way because that may be that we may have we're going to make 1,000 footers our landing spot, okay? What they don't want to do is you taking out the trees or the lights at the end of the runway.
Right.
So you pretend that the 1,000 footers are basically the end of the runway.
Okay.
Now, it's a little stiff up for some reason. Heading into pattern winder. Alright, so there's our aiming point, 1,000 footers. Full power back to 15. So all this is pretty much the same. Looking for about 80 on our airspeed per set of flaps. This plane is actually fully remember because you don't have to put in all the flaps in. There's a couple hundred feet on downwind here. Skyhawk 62 X-rays going to depart to the north. Last call winder. You do not want to come in high on this one because you can. So give yourself a little bit of extra. You can always add power out. It's hard if you don't.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Coming down, coming from high.
Winder traffic diamond 204 Mike Kilo, left base 31. Winder. Yeah, if you come in high, all you can do is slip it.
Yeah.
But usually your airspeed, so one yard, one flaps in. So usually if you can get, I would no closer than the end of this plant, okay?
Yeah.
If you come over here. We don't know which one to use. Put my nose up a little bit.
I was focused on trying to get those flaps in and it was late.
And about 500 feet, 600 feet is about normal when we turn on final. And that's about where we're at.
Yeah.
Winder traffic, diamond 204, Mike Kilo, base to final, 31, winder. Okay, and then I can start making power adjustments. So you see that second dash before the white strips before? That would be kind of like your numbers. So you're almost aiming kind of about halfway between the numbers and that 1,000 footers. Okay. Now the object here is you're going to land a little bit firmer, okay? And then we would say max braking. Now if I start getting low, just add power. The common mistake here is people, they dump all their power and then they land short of the numbers. So it's kind of playing with this a little bit. I don't want to come in high, but I definitely don't want to come in too low.
But you're trying to land on the 1,000 footers.
I'm landing on 1,000. Now you felt that drop?
Yeah.
High drop, so I'm just pulling some power, whatever it takes. I'm just playing with the power a little bit.
Okay, so you just want to put it down there.
Yep.
You just want to put it down. Okay. I got you.
Winder traffic, diamond 204 Mike Kilo, taxi back on runway 5. We're going to get back on the taxiway here. Winder. Don't do that with the examiner. Okay.
Don't do what you just did right there?
Yeah,
okay.
that really wasn't a good habit. I just didn't want us to have to taxi all the way back down.
I got it. I got it.
Yeah, but did you see how I kept playing with
absolutely.
it? And the other thing, I usually don't teach you guys this because I don't want people getting into bad habits. But if you bounce hard, you don't always have to go take back off. You can if it's bad enough. A lot of times I'll just add a little power and just set it back down gently. Play with the power a little bit. People, I usually just teach people to pull the power and land it and stuff, but you can play with the power.
Okay.
you know, I either hit the mark or I was right at the mark. I don't. So
I think you hit right at the mark.
that's what you want to do. You do not want to be short. You're better to be long. He won't bust you for being long. Well, within reason. He'll probably give you a little fudge round.
Yeah, but if
you're short, that's like landing in the grass.
Right, got it.
It's harder when you have to hit the 1,000 footers because they're easier to see.
Yeah.
If you miss your mark. All right, your controls.
My controls. All right, we're gonna go to takeoff, flaps, full, rich, fuel pumps on, lights on. All right. Water traffic, Diamond 204, Mike Kilo, taking 3-1. Gonna stay in the pattern, winder. Alright, no one's on final.
Alright, use all available runway.
Alright, he's off the runway. Alright.
Wider traffic, Diamond 225 Delta Alpha, departing the pattern 2
Brake.
north, wider.
Full power. Alright, off it, right rudder. Airspeed's alive. My gauges look good. Looking for 50. There's 50. Rotate. Alright, there's 50 feet.
Southern light is 2 to the north, and runway 28 cutting.
Airspeed's coming up. On up now.
stall horn. Alright, that wasn't pretty, but you hit your mark.
Oh my gosh. I'm not gonna, I won't do this during, what's it called? Winder traffic, Diamond 204, Mike Kilo, back taxiing on 5, taxi back to 31, Winder. Alright, yeah, I let the power out. I actually started going up, didn't I?
Well, you had your nose too high, about 10 feet off the ground, and you were basically about to stall your plane out. That's why it started dropping.
Yeah. A little challenge.
That wasn't bad for your first go around, man. Your airspeeds are too erratic, though. You were coming in too fast,
yeah.
And it was because you were trying to get down.
Yeah.
That's why I said go out further. Okay. 200 feet's fine, but probably till you get a little better at this, go out a little further, and then add power back.
Okay.
But don't if that's what you need to do. Part of these maneuvers is just setting yourself up for success. If you cut it in close to the runway, it just makes it hard to do these.
Yeah, that makes sense. I swear, I don't know if it's just me, but this thing, is it just me that this thing pulls to the left?
No, it pulls to the left.
Okay, alright, man, I feel like I'm embarrassed because I can't keep the doggone thing under control. Alright, I'll do better this time, now that I know. I'll go out a little bit further on my...
What a beautiful day. I thought it was going to be crappy by the end of the day.
Actually, when I was driving in, it was sprinkling a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, it was looking pretty. I mean, it wasn't looking bad, but I mean, it was pretty overcast.
Right, fuel pump on, lights on, gauges are all green. Winder traffic, Diamond 204, Mike Kilo, taking 31. Gonna stay in the pattern. Winder. Flaps are at takeoff. Close the window. Runway. Alright, we'll stop, power up. Right rudder. Gauge is all good. Airspeed's alive. Keep it on the center line. There's 40, 50, rotate. Traffic, Diamond 204, Mike Kilo on
60.
Okay.
Because if you do, the plane's going to float. The other thing is, you're going to land a little flatter than you're normally used to. You normally try to flare it a little bit. You still got to flare, but it's not as much as a normal landing. You notice now when I came down, I just kind of set it there.
You're really flying it all the way down.
You're flying it to the ground. That's really what you're doing.
Okay.
And there's some debate on what's the best time of landing, flaring the thing or flying it to the ground.
Right.
To me, it's best. The flare is the best because it bleeds off a lot more airspeed. You can fly them to the ground, but you're going to need more. As long as you got plenty of runway. And really, your larger aircrafts, you pretty much do fly to the ground. These small ones, you can get away with flaring it a lot more.
Right.
distance there. Probably a little bit smaller of those corrections. You're kind of a little bit, and that's just because you hadn't done it. I mean, she's second flight, man. Why aren't you doing this? Perfect.
Right. I get the concept. It's going to take me a couple of times to figure out, but I think this right here is not going to be too bad. I understand this one.
And that's why I normally teach normal landings before I used to teach it all three of them, but I find that people get their normal landings down. It's not that big of a deal to add a little bit.
You know, I think this really does help your normal landings, doesn't it?
Yeah, it makes you have to. I mean, you're hitting a mark versus just getting it on the runway.
I mean,
if we use Fred as an examiner, it'll be even easier because you'll just use your numbers as your landing point. And you just.
What do you mean you use your numbers as a landing point?
As your aiming point, so you're not putting them on 1,000. If we use Fred will say, what's your aiming point? You'll say my numbers. And they say, okay, you got 200 feet past your numbers or whatever.
Okay.
So you just kind of come in and bring it in. And we'll practice that way because I don't know who we're going to end up using for the examiner. To me, really, you shouldn't have to hit the 1,000 footers on this because you got a displaced threshold that there's plenty of room for error.
Yeah.
But you know,
Right. Winder traffic, diamond 204 Mike Kilo, crossing 2, 3, and 5, winder.
so really, technically, you should stop there. Okay.
All right. All right.
Will your examiner do the same thing? Heck yeah, you would. But you're
But
not.
don't let me do it.
You better not do it.
Right.
You're stopping for all the stop signs.
Yeah, okay.
You're doing it all by the book.
Got it. I got it.
Alright, I'm going to demonstrate a soft field takeoff and a soft field landing.
Okay. Your controls.
My controls. Alright, so we still want to use 10 degrees of flaps.
Okay.
This plane's always 10 degrees of flaps, so
Regardless, okay.
it's good to remember. Alright, so the point is if this was grass, okay?
Uh-huh.
And we want to get the front wheel off the ground as quick as possible so it doesn't cause friction, okay? But our airspeed is not quite fast enough to really take off. So what we're going to do is I want to get it up. I'm going to pull it about halfway back on the yoke, okay? As soon as it gets up into ground effect, I'm just going to level off, gain some airspeed, and the plane will naturally lift off. Winder traffic, diamond 204 Mike Kilo, departing runway 31, remaining in the pattern. Winder. You also want to keep it moving on this one, okay? You don't have to race out here,
Okay.
but just keep it moving. People racing out here.
Yeah,
like
you don't want it to dig into the ground. Got it.
Clear. As soon as I get myself under control here, let's go full power. Pull back. You'll feel the front starting to lift off.
Uh-huh. Right there.
Once it lifts off, just kind of holding it here in ground effect. And as the airspeed
goes up,
it's
okay.
just going to lift up by itself.
Wow, okay. When you came up, did you come above ground effect? That's why I started dipping down again? Just
I may have pushed forward just
Okay.
a little bit too hard.
Got it.
I don't fly these planes like you guys do. The controls on this plane always feel a little stiff to me for some reason. I don't know. The other one does it, but
Yeah. On this particular plane?
yeah, it just feels a little tighter or something.
Yeah. Would you rather fly the Cessna? Do you like flying the Cessna more?
No, I was talking about the other diamond.
No, I know you weren't, but do you like flying the...
Nah, this is probably my favorite plane.
Oh, okay.
Out of all of them. Cessna's fun too. After you get your license, come out, we'll go do a lesson or two, and then we'll check you, you'll be checked out in that plane. I just did that for a student that just got his license.
Yeah.
It's not a big, it's different, but you know, it'd be good for you to get some experience in more than one plane. Winder traffic, diamond 204 Kilo, left downwind for 31, winder. It doesn't matter where your aiming point is, okay?
Okay.
But the object is to stay centered and soft. But really all your landings should be soft. because it really doesn't matter where we're landing, as long as it's soft and in the center.
This thing automatically goes from standby to all as soon as you take off, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I didn't realize that. Doesn't take into account the distance, right? We're just trying to get it down as soft as keep the front end off the ground for a little bit.
Yep. And the thing is, if you come in a little bit faster, you're not having to push the nose up so fast.
Yeah.
Because once you get that nose up, the thing wants to drop.
Yeah.
So we probably dropped about that last foot. It would have been fine, but it wasn't a greasing it for sure.
Okay.
All right, your controls.
My controls.
So we'll let you do what we're going to do is we're just going to do a soft build. Don't worry about slip.
Okay.
Then we'll go up again and we're going to slip it, okay?
Okay.
But then we're going to do a go around.
All right.
Because you need to, they're supposedly supposed to make you do a go around on check ride.
Yeah.
Usually what they'll do is if they know your landing's about to be crap, they'll say, there's a plane or there's a bird or whatever. You need to go around. And you're going to probably want to keep your taxi speed with these guys somewhere no faster than about 15 knots, okay?
Okay. All right.
I know that for a reason. going too fast.
Yeah, they say a brisk walk is what I've heard.
Yeah, well, nobody does that.
Yeah, I don't know if anybody can do a brisk walk.
Almost have to. You want to be fast enough, you're not annoying them.
Okay. Went to traffic time at 204 Mike Kilo, departing on 31, staying in the pattern winder.
Alright, just remember on this particular plane, you cannot pull it all the way back. The tail will hit.
Okay.
On a Cessna, you just pull that yoke all the way back, but the tail sits off the ground about 2 feet higher. Oh, clear left, clear right.
Yep. Rolling. All right.
There you go. Now just kind of hold it level here. That look good?
Okay. I thought I was off the ground when I wasn't. And the nose was just up. You can really tell when it comes up. Pops up.
What time do you got over there?
210.
Okay.
Winder traffic down to 204 Mike Kilo, turning left down 131 winder. Onto flaps. Winder traffic down at 204 Mike Kilo, turning left base 431 winder. Minor traffic, damage 204, Mike Kilo, turn final 31 winder.
We'll make this touch and go.
Alright.
Your feet, okay, that's what keeps you centered. There you go. That was a good one. That was better than mine. What are you doing showing me off?
Flaps up.
Flaps up, go. Alright. Alright, so this time we're going to try a slip. I want you to intentionally come in high, okay? Alright. So depending on which examiner, what we're going to do, we're going to slip it in, but then I'm going to say, hey, there's a plane on the runway.
Okay.
At that point, if you were using Fred, you go full power and he wants you to step off to the right, okay?
Okay.
Which is what we'll do. And the engine.
Minor traffic, damage 204, Mike Kilo, turning left downwind for 31 winder.
And the thought there is, if you were landing this runway and you looked up and there was another plane coming right at you.
Right. Okay.
The procedure is normally to step off to the right. I've had it happen one time to me and we both stepped off to the left. But I was already kind of heading off to the left when I looked up and saw him, and I just whipped it over the trees.
funny about that? I didn't see anything funny about that.
I don't know either. I don't know what he's laughing about. Probably laughing at the student.
Oh, was that a student?
He's an instructor.
Oh, okay.
He's over flying the field. He's going to do a teardrop.
Oh, there he is, right there. Do I need to what do I need to do?
You just need to do your normal thing. He's going to go out.
Line of traffic, number 204, Mike Kilo, turning left, downwind 431, winder.
Fix your heading indicator.
Okay. Level.
Alright, so we just lost our engine. Alright, I've got the power.
Alright.
That's fine. 3 knots. I'm working your way towards the field. I'm getting super close. This plane it still has a long line to it.
Yeah.
That's probably good enough. Get your stuff a little straight down here. 73. Back it off. Come on. Get it straight here.
Yep.
Line traffic down to 204. Kilo doing power off 180 for 31 winder. 73. Come on. Get your airspeed back. Don't want to come in too fast. Pull it out. Trim it up. We won't use flaps until don't get so close. You got to make a turn here. Start your turn. Really turn because you got it in real close.
So used to
get your airspeed up.
Up or down? Down,
I mean down's what I meant to say. Alright. Wider traffic down to 225 Delta Alpha, entering left downwind for runway 31, wider. Alright, go ahead and slip it. Doesn't matter. Whichever way you want. There you go. Keep it coming down. All the way down in the ground deck. Level it off. Get back on center line. Back on center line. Right rudder. Congratulations, you just did your first emergency landing.
You know, it's, gosh, you wouldn't think that something as simple as you having your hand on the throttle disoriented me like that. Because I didn't know what to do with this hand, you know.
That's how to do it. You're not going to have to do this. That's a commercial level maneuver, but I think everyone should have to do it.
Yeah.
Realize if your engine goes out, you got to get it over there.
Right. I got it, yeah. Wow, that's interesting.
We'll do another soft field takeoff and take it back to Gwinnett.
Okay.
Wider traffic down to 225 Delta Alpha, turning left base for runway 31, wider.
Base, where's he at? There he is.
Wider traffic, 204 Mike Kilo, we're clear the active taxi back 31. You're in those heavy planes, those things are like rocks, man. You gotta wrench it over, man, and get it down.
I didn't realize you could turn this thing that hard at that slow of a speed. I mean, you had that thing over almost at 45 degrees.
You were in close, so I had to call it. We had to pull it over. Winder traffic, time at 225 Delta Alpha, turning final for runway 31, winder. good.
Do you mess with the computer? Do you do YouTube or anything?
YouTube? Oh yeah.
Look at Worst Place to Be a Pilot. Just put that in there. And it's a TV show. It's a series. It's very interesting. The company is called Suzy Air. Suzy Air. And they fly all around those tribal places. Lights on. That bump every time. Knots. Gotta remember that. I want to have to do the walk of shame. Traffic, Diamond 204, Mike Kilo, departing on 31, Winder.
Winder traffic on 3412, 5 miles south, inbound, 45 degrees to the left, downwind 31 Winder.
Right. Going, buddy on final, buddy's on the runway. Up. Full power. Halfway.
Yeah, if it was a windy day, oh, that nose right into the wind.
Okay.
Because you're slow and low.
Got it. Traffic, Diamond 204, Mike Kilo, final call, departure west, Winder.
Winder traffic, Diamond 225 Delta Alpha, crossing runway 235, on Alpha, Winder.
I'm assuming it's going to be 2.5. procedures, checklists, mixture to lean, fuel off, landing lights off, fuel pump off. Gauges are all green.
chair stick. You're at 79, so lay off some of that power. You were kind of adding power in, but you could have pulled your nose up to.
All right. That wasn't a soft landing.
That's because you leveled off too high up.
But, all right.
You gotta level off, but you gotta still let it come down. If you just level off and kind of hold it up there, then the thing just wants to drop in.
Okay. There's, they told me to turn, but I'm assuming I can turn.
You just turn off and then you contact ground if he doesn't call you. You guys get a little bit spoiled here because they're a little looser here on some stuff.
All right. Don't turn it until I get across the line.
Twin Tower, 730 Charlie.
Put it ground, Diamond 204, Mike Kilo, hold short at 25, ready to taxi back to Advanced Aviation.
204 Mike Kilo, go down ground taxi to Advanced via Tango.
Via Tango, Advanced Aviation, 4 Mike Kilo.
I had a girl almost screw up in a check ride doing that.
Go what?
They're so used to, everybody's, including me, we're so used to them saying, now we're calling us and saying, you know, taxi via Delta to Advanced or whatever, okay?
Yeah.
But technically,
Right.
if they don't call you, switch it. You stop, you call ground, and contact ground. They don't say anything. Of course, if they tell you to contact ground, that's obvious. You contact.
Right.
But she,
Right. Clear left.
Tower did not say anything to her. And she pulled out. She was just going to head back to Advance. Well, that's a runway incursion.
Oh, wow.
Because you have no permission. You're supposed, you're on. Once you're on the ground, you're supposed to be under control of the ground. She would have probably been okay. They probably would have. But at the same time, I mean, that was a check ride. He could have busted her right there, right at the end.
He didn't?
He didn't bust her. He made her stop. The truth of the matter is, they can bust you at any time.
Sure.
I mean, it's rare that somebody just does everything.
I was gonna say, I bet you could fail everybody that took a check ride if they really wanted to.
But normally, if you're doing well and you're a little bit off on this or a little bit off on that, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
If you're on, you know, if you get out, that's why I harp on things like taxi speeds and staying center line and things like that.
Yeah.
Because a lot of little things will add up, you know.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like they don't want to bust you, but I mean, if you're going out there and you just continuously doing things, irritate them. Now, if you just royally screw up, like put the thing over in the grass, I mean, they're going to bust you.
Yeah. They have no choice then.
But they really don't want to bust you. But at the same time, I mean, just it's kind of that whole look good, act good, feel good. You know, if you're out there, if you're being sharp, they see you're conscious of what's going on around you, and you're using your checklist, you're staying center line. You're following directions, you're staying on your heading, you're staying on, then that stuff counts. But if you're up there and you're kind of drifting and down and up and you're not quite, if it looks sloppy, then, they're going to be less likely, like, well, your steep turn was a little bit off, you only got 100 feet, you're 110 feet under, they're probably not going to say anything.
Right.
Sloppy, and they're just like, hey. That's why we use designated examiners. You can do this through the FAA for free, right?
Oh, no, I didn't know that.
Yep. But the pass rate is not as high.
I bet.
I'd take my 550 and be done with it.
Yeah. All right, let's make sure we do the cutoff. I know that we can shut down. Mark back all the way down. Ignition switch. We're not going to do the ignition switch check. We're going to turn the fuel pump off. Aviation's off. Mixture to. Off. Shutdown complete. Got hot in here.
It did.